So tell us what we have here as far as how the property was built.
Yeah, so this concept actually came out of this design process as well, because one of the things that I know from the green designation training that I do is we're always looking to try to figure out ways to make the invisible visible, right? Because energy efficiency is only seen as a negative, right? As in lower operating costs of your home. It's hard to measure, it's hard to grab hold of.
Yeah.
So the builder was like, well, why don't we do a wall mock-up of a code-built house versus what we're doing? And you can see it immediately. There's a huge difference, right? And if I can take you through some of the differences. Now, we're in Massachusetts that has the most rigorous building code in the country, particularly with stretch code communities. And this is all you need to do. You know, that prescriptive way that a builder can go through it, it's not really complicated. You can still use fiberglass insulation, which is not a great insulator.
Right.
And what it is really good at is nesting for animals. So we probably should have put a little nest up here.
Yes.
You can use this stuff called tieback. You're seeing building wraps all over the place, right? And that's good, no question about it. That should be part of code. But the tieback is only an air barrier, right? What we used over here, this Henry Blueskin stuff, is not only an air barrier, but a water barrier. What we're seeing in traditional construction, even new construction now, you know, if water gets behind the cladding, behind the stuff that's on the outside of the building, and there's no water barrier there, it gets into this OSB, and we're seeing homes that are 3, 4, 5 years home, 5-year-old homes starting to be affected because there's water trapped in there, right? So we used an air and vapor barrier, and on top of that, we put in a vapor plane. So this is built so that if there is any condensation that gets in here, it just drains right underneath the cladding all the way through here. This is a much more durable product as well. This isn't wood, this is called boral. It's a sustainable product. 75% of this comes from fly ash that comes off from coal-fired power plants, so it's a reused item, which is good, and much more durable than traditional wood. We also have 2 inches of polyiso, so this is a really good insulator on the outside of the house, so that's R12. And on the interior of the house, because this is a LEED Platinum certified home, an indoor air quality certified home, we couldn't use spray foam because it off-gases, right? So there's this new material called mineral wool that's sprayed in like spray foam is, but it's a water-based adhesive, so there's no off-gassing. Everything was looked at in terms of the design of this house. We had very large mock-ups out here when we were in the process of actually putting the whole piece together to be able to train the guys doing this whole process and to make sure that everything was delivering exactly the way we expected it to do. So just the experimentation that went on with this house and the testing that went on with this house was exceptional.
Is there an expectation as to how long this house would last as compared to a regular?
Yeah, I mean, if this doesn't last for at least 100 years, we've really done something wrong. And we certainly don't expect code-built homes to last for that kind of time frame, right? I mean, that was the minimal that we were designing for.
Right.
Well, one other thing that's interesting about this garage too, because again, it's affixed to the house, right? It's attached to the house, it's a 3-car garage. If we do have 2 electric vehicle bays as well, so if somebody owns a Tesla, they can hook up here as well. But we know that if a car comes in here, you close the garage door, you're going to get all of the CO2 from the cars, right? We've got a negative pressure vent over there that automatically kicks in whenever the garage door is open, so that it forces any kind of fumes going in that direction, doesn't allow it to go in the house. Just all the little things that are thought of here are really incredible.